Surprisingly warm 57 degrees outside here on Mission Street. I hope everyone is doing well out there today. This is going to be a real fun show as we teased in the promotional material. This one is a special announcement. One of my favorite things to do on this show is show you things you've never seen before and have companies come on here to surprise you and show you what they've been working so hard on. And this is one of those, and I'm really jazzed about it. Please, as you join our show today, let us know where you're joining from in the chat. Wherever you're watching, I am coming to you from beautiful downtown San Francisco in the fragrant Soma neighborhood. And our guests are Florian. Where are you joining us from, Florian?
Hi, I'm here in Singapore. Not so sunny anymore.
Yeah, I can see that. It's you're burning the midnight oil, so to speak. And Varun Chatterjee, how you doing?
Good.
Where are you
Same,
joining us from,
Singapore.
Varun? Yeah, Singapore. Right on.
Singapore.
You're probably at home, right? Hello out there, everybody. I see we got some folks checking in from Houston, Texas, Chennai, London, Vancouver Island, Canada, Maine. We've got Atlanta. We've got, of course, the India folks are chiming in. We love huge contingent to OpenCV community out there in India. We love to see it, folks. Yokohama, Hartford, Connecticut. Good evening from exciting Nigeria, says one of our viewers here. Scottsdale, Arizona. Another Atlanta. I didn't know we were so popular in Georgia. Got a lot of family down there, actually. Surprisingly, their last name is pretty famous in Atlanta history, not for reasons that people would be very happy about. Their name's Sherman. Let's take a look at the viewership here. Just gonna take a quick peek. Let's see how we're doing on LinkedIn. We got about 4 people watching on YouTube here as we get started this morning. And over on the usually pretty popular popping off LinkedIn feed. How we doing, folks? And looks like we got quite a few of you chiming in there. Hello, good morning. Really appreciate it. This is episode 134. Holy cow. Sometimes even I forget how many episodes we've done of this show. But I think now, howdy, Steve. Good morning, Steve from Smart Mansion Inc. in Toronto, the guy that gets free advertising every single episode just because he says hello and lists his company name. And and here come the AI assistants. What's the over under? I think last week we had 8 of them, 7 of them. Not sure. Let's do a count. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, 7. We're either down 1 or I miscounted last time. So, I mean, I think I could take out 7 AIs. It's like that question of people, would you rather fight like 100 toddlers or one toddler the size of 100 toddlers or whatever? Like it's one of those things. Um, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this again. We don't need 7 AI assistants, folks. I think at most we probably need 1. But I appreciate your enthusiasm for these, and they're almost all that. I'm not going to say the company's name because I don't want to give them any advertising. They should pay us for that. But they're all the same company. It's kind of an epidemic here during the ongoing pandemic. And with that, I think it's a good time to get started here. Let me just clear my throat. Hello, everybody, and welcome to OpenCV Live, episode 134, if you can believe it. I am your co-host with the co-most, the second banana who is second to none. I'm also your plus one and only. It's Mr. Nelson, if you're nasty, but you, my dear friends, can call me Phil. Today, I am flying solo with the hosting duties as Dr. Satya Malik is on assignment. He'll probably be back with us when we return in 2 weeks. We will be off next week, by the way, attending the awesome Embedded Vision Summit in Santa Clara, California here. But this week we have some tremendous guests who are going to be giving us a special announcement of their new product exclusive here on OpenCV Live. I'd like to welcome Florian and Varun. Go ahead and say hi, folks.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Love it. Super high energy for people that have been working all night. I'm, got a little bit of OpenCV business to attend to here before we get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. There's a few things I want to remind you about before we get started. OpenCV, as most of you probably know, is a nonprofit organization that operates a open source library. One of the things about that is we run on the generosity of groups and individuals to help pay the bills and keep developing the library, as well as help us do stuff like OpenCV Live and the events that we do in person with you all, such as CVPR and Embedded Vision Summit, the competitions we run. We're on Hackster every year, that sort of thing. Did you know that there's ways you can support OpenCV? For example, if you're just a regular old person and you benefit greatly from OpenCV, you can go to opencv.org/support and donate via Stripe or PayPal, whatever you feel is appropriate for your level where you are in your career and how much OpenCV has really benefited you. And we really do appreciate that. If your organization or company benefits greatly from OpenCV or has over the years, we also have a member organization plan. There are 3 levels here: bronze, silver, and gold. Your company can become one of the awesome companies that supports OpenCV, such as our guests here at 7th Sense, ARM, Intel, such luminaries as Rerun, one of the hot new visualization tools, which we'll probably have on the show again pretty soon here. You can also sponsor OpenCV on GitHub. You can go to github.com/sponsors/OpenCV. We currently have 5 sponsors, and I'll give each one of them their 5 seconds of fame. Thank you, Victor. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Blue Jay. Thank you, Ross Newman, and thank you, Redis Laboratories. Really, really appreciate your support there over on GitHub. But there are other ways you can help us too. For example, do you like clothes? I'm pretty okay with clothes. I mean, it depends on my mood, but you can buy OpenCV clothes now. Not only can you buy clothes for yourself, you can buy clothes for your pets. We've got T-shirts, we've got buttons, we've got pins, we've got stickers, and we've also got these cute little pet bandanas. I'm highly disappointed in all of you that have not bought one of these bandanas for your pets and sent me personally a photograph. If you do so, I will in fact share it on the show for the world to see. Maybe your pet can become the next like grumpy cat or whatever. And invest in your pet by spending, like, I think they're like $15. Let's find out. Yeah, they're $20. So give us 20 of your dollars and make your pet look snazzy too. OpenCV is on Twitter at OpenCV Live. We are on Mastodon mastodon.social @OpenCV. We're on LinkedIn. We're basically everywhere you can find people. Also, OpenCV version 5 development is ongoing. As you can see, I'm working right now. This is how the sausage is made, people. The OpenCV workboard is available on GitHub. You can go there at any time and see what is in progress, what's been done. You can see we've got 38 tasks kind of finished here and a ton of pull requests already merged by the OpenCV core team, who's working very hard to pay off on all of the promises we made for OpenCV 5 during our Indiegogo campaign, which so many of you generously donated. Thank you so much for that. And we're really, really excited about some of the big changes and small improvements that are coming to OpenCV 5. And you can follow along on github.com/org/OpenCV, or you can always go to the OpenCV website, opencv.org, and check out the blog where I've been posting, sort of very slightly punched up versions of the Team Sync notes that we do every Wednesday. I think that is about it for now. Oh yeah, we've got I mentioned earlier, we're going to Embedded Vision Summit. If you're in the northern or central California area, you should probably go to Embedded Vision Summit if you're watching this show. It's May 21st to 23rd. That's next week. OpenCV will be having a booth there. We'll have stickers. We'll have buttons for free. If you come up and say hi, I will be very easy to find. I'll be the guy wearing the cool sunglasses and the orchid jumpsuit, probably with some stickers in my pocket. Maybe with some other stuff in my pocket, but that's for me to know and not for you to know. With that being said, I think that is about all that I had to talk about before we get started today. With that, thank you so much, Florian Varun, for sticking with me here on that 11-minute introduction. I'm trying to set a new record today, apparently. But now the show is yours. Tell the folks what you've got here for us today. We're really excited about this. I think you're muted there. Not hearing any audio from your
Florian, we
side,
can't hear
Florian.
you.
Okay, you can hear me, you
You're
can
back.
see the
Excellent.
screen, and you can see me, right?
Heck yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So we are pretty excited today. You have probably, some of you have seen us the 2 times back in OpenCV Live. So we are 7cents, but now we are back with a completely new branding and also with a completely new product. So who we are, we have here Varun, our co-founder and CTO. He has said hi before. And myself, I'm Florian, one of the AI engineers here at 7cents. And last time we showed you all
no offense, Varun, but Florian's hair game is just like putting you to shame, dude. We need to get you like a mohawk or something to keep up with this.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
All right.
At least a beard or something, right? A big beard. Okay.
Yeah,
So last time we mainly focused on the OpenCV FR part of our company, which is like our core competence to develop like world-class face recognition models. And during this time when we learned all these skills and perfected it, we also started more and more looking into the world of edge AI, because we're not only running really good and optimized FR models, we also run them on very constrained hardware. So we, apart from having the OpenCV FR API, we often do some bigger, some smaller projects with organizations and governments to implement FR, and often they needed to run on quite small hardware like small cameras, phones, and stuff like this. So we do a lot of things in this area. And when like some almost now 1.5 years ago, when all this LLM more and more emerged in the research world and also in the public in general, we started to look into this. How can we do LLMs also on constrained hardware? And that's why this product that we will show you here has been born by, the idea of this product has been born. So I won't tell you too much, but let's just go through the overview of today. So first we just had the introduction. We then will show you the teaser video of our product and unveil the product. Then we will go for some use cases and do a live demo on the product. Then I will talk about the technology background, some interesting things that you should mind when you find those new kind of AI models like this out there, and what is actually the special sauce in there. And then on the end, we will have a very special game, because you will be able to use our product. It will be live. You can sign up, and then we will have some fun with some games, and you can actually win some let's call it in product tokens that you can use and spend for your own
Credits on the app. Yeah, excellent. And as a reminder to folks out there, if you have questions during the presentation at any time, feel free to use the Zoom Q&A button if you're watching on Zoom, or just ask in the chat system wherever you're watching us there, and we will do our best to ask those questions during the show, or we'll try to save some time later in the episode for those questions you have. So please, send your questions in however you want, and we'll do our best to get to them.
Okay, so I think without any further description and doing, I will just show you this awesome trailer.
Think it. Find it. Think it. Find it. Think it. Find it. You get the idea. Sense Vantage AI-powered video search. Because finding the most important moments shouldn't be like finding a needle in a haystack.
And that narrator's voice really does it for me. You know that guy's name? He sounds a little congested, though. I think maybe he needs some NyQuil or Dayquil. But yeah.
So that's the... Okay, so you have seen it. Basically, we're revealing Vantage, our AI-based multi-modality search engine. So the use cases for this thing mainly is on being able for video content creation to find the footage that you need for big archives of like governments and museums and stuff like this to search through their vast amount of video content. Because the cool thing here is you can basically, when you think it, so when you type it out with text, you can find it in a video just in a couple of seconds. And this enables a lot of different use cases. Also, of
Yeah,
course,
I'm super excited about this personally because as a video production professional for many years, and as someone who shoots a lot of in-person footage, like at events and conferences, you end up with hours and hours and hours of footage, and you're thinking, wait, where was that? Remember that one guy that said that thing? And so you're just scrubbing through the timeline, and yeah, this is tremendous. I'm so excited about this.
yes, exactly. And that's so cool. So you have a lot of footage, you want to search for it, you want to find the specific scenes. And also another cool thing is you can actually use it as kind of an adaptive camera system. So one of the use cases we will also show you later is this kind of security use case for like shop CCTVs when you can think of like if you come in your shop and you realize one of the TVs is stolen, and instead of looking for the all 8 hours footage of the whole night, you can just search for like a man breaking in, and you will find the scene, and you can like immediately take a screenshot, send it to the cops, so you can speed up all those kind of processes. I don't want to talk too much today. I want more show you things. So one of the first use cases here is this video content creation. So we prepared some examples on Vantage. So this is how Vantage looks like when you log in the first time. Here are my uploads. This is empty now because I haven't uploaded anything in this account. And here we have some cool example videos which you can try out, and I will show you this now. So I go here on this video about a marriage proposal, and now I can think about things that happen during a marriage proposal. For instance, like show me a man kneeling down to propose, right? That's like the typical thing that should be inside this content, and that's what we're really interested in showing here. So bam, I get this, and here we jump to the scene. I see the thing that I wanted, and now I can say, oh, okay,
Awesome.
maybe I'm now interested in like the exchange of wedding rings. You know, that I want to zoom down on the like really important moments in this video. So here I have it. I can see the exchange of wedding rings, and you understand how it works. Like I just describe it with what I ever just type up. It will go through the video, understand the
Plain
scene
text.
in plain text. So and now I can easily put this together to what I want. Oh, I see we have some Q&A question,
Yeah,
right?
we've already got some questions. We'll keep going. We'll save some time for Q&A in a bit. I think
All
this
right.
is exciting enough to show off a little more.
All right. So another cool example here was the creating vlogs. So often when you travel, you have like a ton of footage, like some kind of dash cam just running all the time. So here, let me go to one of the other example videos. We have here a cool travel video of Singapore. So I can show you some of the nice things in Singapore. So for instance, we have this massive indoor waterfall. So I want to show you this. I just search for indoor waterfall. And here inside this video here, it will jump to the scene, and you can see here that's so cool. In Singapore, you have this glass house, which is basically a jungle inside a glass house, and you have like all the stairs, and you can go around. So you can find the waterfall, but you cannot. Another very famous thing are these gigantic trees. They look like from the movie Avatar. So if I search for Avatar tree, you will see here.
Oh
We
wow!
have
Like,
here
are
Avatar
those
tree.
officially licensed avatars?
Oh yeah. Because they always have like this theme thing,
That's great.
and at this time it was like the Avatar theme, so you have this kind of creatures and so on. Okay, let's go back to the. Oh, I think I always have to full screen the slides. So another interesting use case that we actually observed when we were talking with some companies is the problem of rating movies and all kind of visual context is whenever the like governmental organizations, when they give out a rating, they actually have to look at the footage, right? So, and today there's like a lot of footage out there, and there are actually people which job. I mean, uh, it's probably a nice job, but can be boring at some while. So the actual job is to look through movies all day and to find if there's like specific scenes that are used to generate a movie rating, like classical things are like gun and or displayed violence and stuff like this. So I have here another example for this. So this is a trailer of a movie, and here, for instance, if I search for like people fighting, right? Would be a classical thing. If I can see this kind of violence thing, there's definitely something going on with violence. Or this was a quick scene, but you can see there's some kind of fighting. Or I mean, I can also search here for show me a pistol.
One of the questions from the audience here, I think you can resolve now. They're saying, can you use more natural language? Like, say, for example, instead of searching for pistol, if you searched "show me a pistol," would that work as well?
Yes. I can even say like, show me people taking selfies. Actually, the more longer like and precise you describe it, the easier it is to find it, right? Because like pistol, there
Sure.
are probably a lot of scenes with pistol, but if you say like people taking selfies, that's kind of like a very specific thing. And here you see it, right? So it found
Excellent.
this scene where, and you can describe it with all kind of things. So the same scene you could already find with a different prompt. So I can also say like, show me a teacup, and there's probably multiple scenes here with a teacup. So if I search for this, I can see here she has a teacup. But maybe if I now search like show me a woman in front of a desk, I will also find it. So there are all kinds of different things how I can basically, as long as I can describe it with some text, it will find it. And let's go on. And then, of course, whoop, that was a little bit too fast. The third part of very interesting use cases is definitely the more like security CCTV kind of use case. So one would be the more public CCTV where we have like, if we want to detect accidents early on, spot them where they are, and get like emergency there as fast as possible, and can then, if we have systems like this in place, we can already inform people down the road very fast with automated systems, let them slow down, and like in order to help them not crash into the accident and stuff like this. And the other part in the security and CCTV such kind of use cases is more the indoor private or half private, half public CCTV case where I want to see like, okay, is there some harm going on? So I will show you those use cases here. So first here we have like this road accident, as I show me motorcycle accident. And if so there are all kind of cars going on, bus, and those kind of things. And if I say show me accident, it jumps to this scene where you can see the crash. Maybe it was jumps already inside. If I go a little bit far, you can see, yeah, okay, it definitely happened there. But I can also always search for other things. I can also say like, show me a red car, for instance. So like things that maybe not related to accident. Oh, okay, here it captured this red car just passing by the camera. So you can see you can't really train a model for doing such specific things, right? You can only come up with a data set for cars, maybe the color, maybe you can define a data set with like a lot of accidents from between two cars. But then you have an accident between, let's say, a motorcycle and a car, and it will still understand. If I can just search here, show me accident, it really understands what an accident is and what kind of different things can lead to an accident. So here it found this accident scene. So that's the cool thing. Usually when you train the classical object detection things, you're just limited by the classes that you have, and you're limited by the data that you're trained on. And here you're so dynamic with what you want to capture and with what you want to find, that you're not limited by this kind of hard constraints that we are used to be from the classical object detection kind of use cases. So
that's a great way to put it. We've got a couple questions here about
sure.
these use cases. I think we can butt in here and ask. So, for example, so somebody asked, can you talk to it in natural language? We just showed that. Hopefully that answered their question there. Another question here was, does this work, or are there any plans to make this work for live security feeds, or does it only work currently on pre-recorded video?
Oh, it does work on live videos as well, but not in this, like, I mean, we have this product also as an on-premise solution, but here for like this kind of end user use cases makes much more sense for people to upload their video content and such through it. But yes, it definitely also works for live camera feed. And there we usually do this kind of alert thing. So you can see, oh, I have this camera, please alert me when there's an accident, please alert me when there is a black cat crossing the street, and please alert me when you see the pizza delivery. Something like this. You can just like put it up.
That's so awesome. Yeah.
And then it runs, and then you can get a message. You can trigger all sorts of things based on that.
Awesome. Yeah. And there's so some folks, somebody already has a very interesting, that sounds like a very difficult problem actually. And so I'm interested in your thoughts here, which is Tiana's saying they have they want to use this for with a telescope. I wonder, do you think this would be smart enough, like, or would be able to individually recognize stars, for example, based on maybe their size and hue and position or something? I mean, that's a very interesting but seemingly very tough problem.
Yeah. Oh, we've never thought about this before. I mean that's the cool thing, that there are so many use cases you can't really think of, like, and that's maybe also one of the big reasons we put it out and want to see how people are using it, what kind of things they're coming up. So yeah, telescope and looking into the stars, sure. I mean, I haven't tried it out yet, but sure, why not?
I love the idea of, and then being able to, for example, it could, then kind of automatically, maybe if you've got a camera trained at the sky that isn't, like zoomed very far, but far enough to track or identify things, and with this kind of tech, and then you could have your telescope kind of automatically, train toward that star and get way in there. It's so interesting. I love that idea, Tiana, in the chat.
Because it can get like quite difficult to watch the whole sky all the time, right? And then it kind of, okay, and when it captures something interesting, it zooms in, during night and while you're asleep. That's a cool use case. Wow, I like it.
Yeah.
Here I can.
We've got some questions on
Sure.
latency as well. So what's the so size and latency as well. What's the longest video that you all support currently on this version of Sense Vantage?
So here on the platform, later when you have access to it, you can register soon. You can upload up to 1 hour of footage right now. I mean, there's
Okay.
technically there's not really a constraint to that. We just found like it's a reasonable size to try it out and get hands-on experience with that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
and when it comes, so even if you would have longer videos, it would not really, I mean, sure, you need to process the videos, but from searching for the video doesn't take you really longer if the source video is longer. So there's
Okay.
really not a limit to this. Also, I mean, right now we just search a single video, but in the future we definitely plan to open this up to search for like a collection of videos, because there's also not really a limit to that.
Yeah, and back to my use case, or like say my brother Charles, who shoots a lot of weddings and things like this, where you just end up with a ton of footage and probably many different files, and you just want to put them in as a batch and say, show me all of the cute kids from the wedding party in all 18 of these videos or whatever. That's the kind of stuff that the grandparents always want to see, and so forth. We got another question here. Bukasa, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right here, would like to know, is this working solely based on frame by frame search, or is it actually also processing anything else like audio or text that may be on the screen in this version?
Oh, that's a very good question. So, I mean, I think I can reveal a little bit of a secret here. We are actually currently working on having also the sound available. So currently it's only visual based. It understands text quite naturally. So maybe I can show you later an example of that text capabilities. But currently we don't process the sound, so we like basically just like throw this away. But we already have like our kind of in research solution running, where we also process the sound. We convert basically then the spoken text to the spoken speech to text, and then we can also search for this text, which is quite nice, especially when the content is more of course text heavy, like documentaries, shows, talk shows, podcasts, and stuff like this. But it's a good question, because it's a natural adaptation to this, and yeah, it's something that's in the pipeline.
Yeah, that's exciting to hear, because yeah, I'm just imagining now, because this to me is so compelling in terms of how useful it could be, that adding, say being able to identify text, being able to identify sound, just takes it to a whole nother level. It 10x's, 100x's the amount of things you could do here, and yeah, really really exciting. I can see sports applications here as well. Like there's all sorts of cool stuff. I think that's enough questions for now. You can keep going here with your presentation.
Sure. I mean, it's really chill. I'm basically just here show some couple more examples. So here, there's a really interesting video, and you can see here, if I see here a man falling on the ground. So because here he's basically faking falling down, and if I search for this, I can find this. So this is a classical example. I mean, here we search for it, but this is a classical example that works really well for live CCTV footage. That you have this in your restaurant, and when somebody falls down, you can trigger an alert, you can trigger some alarm, and people will notice this kind of things.
More importantly, for elder care, like if you have, your parents, your grandparents who
Yes.
are living alone, you could actually have an indoor camera, and it could actually alert you when something bad happens.
Or even for spaces where people live together in larger areas that maybe you can't necessarily be everywhere at all times. It would be great to have this sort of, it seems like it would greatly improve the outcomes of if somebody does happen to take a fall. If you can get there quickly, the faster you can get there, the better it's going to be for everybody. And yeah, so that's a great point, Varun.
So,
Yeah. Okay.
One of my favorite TV shows would be totally changed by this technology. Jimmy McGill from Better Call Saul. Slippin' Jimmy would not be able to get away with his tricks if we had this tech, man. Bob
You're right.
Odenkirk's career would be totally different. All hail the Bob.
I think the amount of use cases here is truly tremendous. I mean, from watching stars to even like not literal stars, but movie stars. Like I'm sure it's trained on so much data that even if you went to the Operation Fortuna movie and said, "Show me Jason Stratham," it would probably find Jason Stratham, even though we have not trained this model on Jason
You didn't
Stratham.
just send it a bunch of pictures of that guy. Because of
Exactly.
the data corpus is so large that there's, yeah, if you get a big enough data set, you're going to have some British actors in there. It's it's going to happen. We got a question from Awab who'd like to know a little bit about how the data set was created for this, or where you got the data sets from. I mean, tell us as much as you can. Obviously, some of this might be secret sauce, but sort of what was the process for training this?
Okay. I think it's a perfect question that goes more into the technical deep dive. I've prepared some slides for this that will also answer this question. Maybe just before we do that, you can already go here on sensevantage.com and register with your email address, sign up, set a password, and go in, and you can start exploring the example videos that we set up there. And then later, when your account is ready, after I'm talking about the tech stuff, we can start our quiz. But it's better when people already start setting up, then we're not
Yeah,
late too
tremendous.
much.
So yeah, head on over to sensevantage.com wherever you're watching and sign up for free. And in a few minutes here, you'll be able to actually use the SenseVantage tool to participate in our quiz. And you'll be able to win some free credits on the SenseVantage platform, as well as the OpenCV course of your choosing. So stay tuned for that. Go ahead and sign up now so your account's all ready when we go to quiz time.
All right. So so let me answer this question with like a more bigger few pointers on this whole thing. So I mentioned this last time when we were here at OpenCV live webinar a couple of years back, when we had like all this classical object detection. Actually, also like when Tesla started out doing all these full or maybe not that full self-driving cars.
The half-ass self-driving is what I call it.
Yes, they started out with something like this, like object detection, and then you have different classes for car, you have person, you have bicycle, you have traffic light, and then they put in all kinds of other objects that they realized they need to actually identify, and they got a training data set where I have like, okay, there's cars, person, to capture all kind of varieties and stuff like this. But if there's a thing like, oh, now I want to capture the no entry sign, I actually have to start collecting images or get them somewhere from my already compiled data set, put them in and train my model to have like now a new class, no entry sign. So this was always kind of a problem, and you won't be able to label out the whole world and all kinds of classes to have like this full kind of complete full sensing AI capabilities. So there was obviously some kind of problem, and those solutions were limited and kind of stuck. So that's why people started to basically use more text-based approaches and architectures for the text-based approaches to also tackle this vision problem. So usually when the core thing when we process text nowadays, we use the transformer architecture. And the transformer architecture, the defining source to it is the self-attention mechanism. So when you have a sentence like this, so OpenCV is great, it's usually cut down in different so-called tokens, so like OpenCV is and great, so the individual tokens.
No lies detected.
No lies detected. And then basically the self-attention mechanism, what it does is like inside this network over several layers and layers, it compares each of those tokens in the input sentence to all the other tokens in the input sentence. And this allows to be very flexible. So sometimes it will detect things like, oh, the article and the subject of the sentence, they are together. It will detect kind of like grammatical structures, semantic structures in the text, and extract this information and use it to process the text. So it's really a very, very flexible and dynamic way to learn and understand information by using this self-attention mechanism. And the cool thing is, so this was working quite well for like the language guys, basically, and the vision guys thought like, okay, maybe we can get some use of that. And they basically also started to take an image. So here we have a beautiful Marina Bay in Singapore, and they take the image and they cut it down into different kind of tile-like pieces. And now they also kind of put this into the self-attention mechanism and do attention between those tiles. So each tile of the image will be compared to other tiles of the image. And this is done like in several layers, and this kind of comparison computations, and then it changes the values. It basically allows to reason about those part of the images and analyze and extract information and stuff like this. So it was kind of interesting that it also not only worked for text, but also worked for images. But the really cool thing about this is not that like, okay, now I have one model architecture that works for kind of both those modalities. The really cool thing about this architecture is that it was really the first time where you can start to fuse those different modalities. So what do I mean by this? So you could not take a text, split it up in different tiles, in different tokens. You take an image, split it up in different tiles, and now you do something that's called cross-attention. So you compare the different text elements to different elements, to different parts of the image, and you can use this to extract information out of the image related to the text. Or on the other side, summarize what's in the image and generate it out of the text. And text is super, super dynamic and super, super expressible. And that's basically how they escape this kind of closed class, only fixed object detection problem. So
Very interesting.
now I can come to the point for how those kind of things are trained. So
thanks for that explanation, by the way. Like that's a really great way to visualize that concept. I think it explained it really well for the audience.
Cool. So how usually something like this is trained is basically you have some text and you have some model that's specific for this text. It's then called a text encoder. It transforms this text, it extracts information, it maybe also like cut down and reduces redundancies and stuff like this. And the same thing is basically a different kind of network used to process the image and also encode, extract information of the image, basically downsize it and remove everything that we don't need, and brings it into a more abstract representation that we can later use. And then there comes into play this cross-attention mechanism that we just talked about in the last slide, where we now are able to have computations that are able to compare parts of the image with part of the text, do computations in between where this information is basically flown towards the goal that we have. So, and then during training, usually they train this by telling the model it needs to output a score, and this kind of score should resemble the similarity or of this pair, this text and image pair, or this then basically it's if this is like this text is suitable describing the image, or is the image suitably describing the text. So in cases like this, OpenCV is great. It's a good text, but it may be not suitable for this image of Marina Bay Sands. So during training, we will tell the network, okay, put a low score on this example. And then if we put in a different text, like here, a picture of Singapore, we will force the model to say, okay, if you see an example like this, put a high score. But there are multiple options to this. So also you could say Singapore Lion, so this part on it. So now I'm referring more to this part of the image and not to like the whole scene. And I can again tell the model to put a high score on this. So, and if we do this with like a lot of images and a lot of image and textures describing the image, describing different parts of the image, eventually over time, training all these things, you end up with a model that really understands this connection between the visual domain and our language, mostly now English, but also all kind of other English, but it understands this connection between the visual domain and the language domain. So that's basically the core concepts, how models like this are designed. And then they can do all sort of things here, right? So you can have the video feed, have a query put in, and then you alert people, or what we just showed you before, we have the video feed, and we save out the results of the video feed, and then we search for it, and you can find the specific scenes. And since there's this cross-attention mechanism, you can really specify things. So it can really understand, okay, now I have here a lion. It will compare these different parts and will, oh, okay, now it's about this detail of the image. And, oh, this is lion. Okay, I'll give a high score because I know this is kind of a similar concept. While if I would only like compare this and this without being able to like put everything into different pieces and compare all sub parts to it, I would never be able to track down on those kind of details, right? Because like sufficiently you would maybe just say, okay, this is Singapore, or this is Marina Bay, something like this. Whatever you need, it has so many different information inside the image. So, and also so many different texts would fit to this. So only these cross-attention layers allow you to match the corresponding concepts correctly. I hope it still makes sense.
Yeah, I'm following you. If the audience, anybody out there have any questions, feel free to post those in the chat or the Zoom Q&A, and we'll get to those. But I think so far people are following along.
Cool. So yeah, that's basically how you train those models, and then you do a lot of fine tuning. You optimize them for your actual use case. You optimize for the hardware that you usually they're often too big for running on a CCTV kind of camera approaches. So that's we spend a lot of time on doing this. I talked about this like on the last session, all this kind of model distillation, quantization, selecting the right hardware, optimizing for the specific hardware, changing some parts of the network architecture, fine-tuning, retraining. So there's a lot of things to it to make it like then running smoothly on a site like Sense Vantage.
And also, I think I'd like to add, like, as you move away from the cloud and move towards the edge, towards edge deployments, towards scenarios where this is going to be used off surveillance cameras, that edge optimization becomes a lot more important. And we are growing accustomed to this explosion of weights in models. So models were growing at like maybe 2x or 4x in the past, and in the recent past, they've been like really taking off at a 30, 40x pace. So
And that sometimes that's just in a few months.
yeah, so it's becoming even more important, right? Because you have all this wonderful technology out there, and there being so many advances being made. ChatGPT has released their Omni model, and there's this multimodal thing happening. But at the end of the day, to bring it to the real world and off the cloud, sure, there are many good use cases on the cloud as well, and Sense Vantage, as you're saying, is one of them. But to take it actually out into the field and actually bring it to your homes, bring it to the hospitals, bring it to the public sector in the surveillance field, bring it anywhere in the physical world, that's still a big challenge that lies ahead of us.
Great point. Yeah, we've got another question here about before we go to quiz time, we can
Sure.
go ahead and go back to the quiz time screen so people can, in case they didn't
Yes.
sign up, we'll give them another minute here to sign up. So we've got a question here about developers. Like a couple of questions from developers in the chat, as you might imagine. OpenCV, pretty developer heavy audience here. Firstly, what open source softwares are used in Sense Vantage? Can you talk a little bit about some of the open source tools or software libraries that are used in the creation of or in the operation of Sense Vantage today?
So for reading the video files, we definitely use OpenCV in Python. So all this is running in Python, and apart a lot of open source packages used there apart from OpenCV for. I mean, in the end, it comes down to the whole ecosystem, right? You also have the web server, you have database interaction, you are manipulating files, you're extracting frames. For it's a long
Yeah.
list, and most of them are open source.
I think PyTorch is the biggest one there.
PyTorch is the biggest one there.
Shout out to
Yes.
PyTorch, which also works great with OpenCV. That's for sure.
Exactly. What other libraries do we have that are commonly known? I can't think of much more. I mean, okay, we use when we part of this is also running on just on CPUs, and there we use OpenVINO. I mean, it's not fully open source, but it's still available for free to everyone.
Yeah, awesome tool. We talk about it fairly frequently on the show, and we're pretty close with the OpenVINO team here at OpenCV. I think it's no secret, but it's still such a useful tool for you really get a lot of the just really a great speed improvements and things for basically free. You run the tool and your model's faster now. It's tremendous.
Exactly. And I think it really comes down to having such tools in the sense of that more and more people can benefit from having faster models deployed. And I don't know, like some years ago, it was always about just like being able to do a task, and now we are able to do so many tasks, and now we really need to go into the direction of putting those things onto all kinds of devices and making a lot of use cases available, and that's why you need optimization for hardware to run it efficiently without wasting too much energy and hardware costs. I mean, hardware is still a major cost factor, especially in
Yeah.
those deep learning.
Well, yeah, there's only so much electricity available in the world. We're butting up against the theoretical limits of what we can do with coal and oil right now. So
then there are only so much NVIDIA GPUs produced every year.
Right.
I recently came across an article where the article purported that the entire AI industry in the data center actually consumes more in energy than the entire aviation industry.
That does not surprise me in the slightest. I'm 100% believe it, especially because of how I mean, a lot of this tech is only a couple years old, man. Like it's not very like compared to the optimizations that we'll have in a year or two. Like this is baby stuff from my perspective. So that totally makes sense to me. I believe that 100%. I recently also saw an article like Microsoft looking into building a nuclear power for a data center. Like I don't know, man. Like like we can hit the brakes on that one, I think. But yes. So let's talk about this quiz and get people keyed up for it.
Yes, yes. So everybody should go on sensevantage.com and then hit the register button, sign up with email address, and then you get a link to log in, set up the password. And then the interesting thing is if we scroll down, there are these example videos. So the quiz will be about those example videos. I think we can probably already move on to the first one. So when I move now on, basically game is as follows. You will see one of the example videos. If you find the example video, we have a particular question, and you have to find this thing in the video in order to answer the question. Okay, and the first person who answers in the chat, Phil and I, we will have an eye on that. Will get some credits for sensevantage.com.
Sort of like AI video bingo we got going on here.
Yes, exactly. So those credits there can be used for uploading your own videos and searching for them.
What's the exchange rate for these videos or these credits? Like what does a credit represent? Is it a certain amount of time or a search token or what?
Yes, exactly. So there, one credit is 5 minutes of videos, and for once you have a video in there, you can search unlimited. So there's
Okay.
no
Great.
limit to that. And yeah, we will
Awesome.
go on. So let me click here. Okay, so the first one is again the Singapore travel vlog. So you will find it if you go to the example videos and find this thumbnail. And if you click on it, you will see the video and you can start searching. And the question is, what is the color of the monorail in Sentosa? So Sentosa is one small little island that is underneath or like south to the Singaporean main island, and it's kind of the fun island in Singapore. So we have like the theme park, we have the beach there, we have all those kinds of go-kart and those things. It's really fun and cool there, and also a nice nature.
All right, we got some answers coming in, Florian. What do we got?
Oh,
Anybody get it right yet?
Let me see. I don't see the answers. Can you tell me?
Should just be able to click on the chat on Zoom it'll show you there.
Okay. I think the first correct answer was from Joel.
Joel Nadar.
Joel Nadar. It's yellow.
The answer we're looking for is yellow. Congratulations, Joel. So send an email to phil@opencv.org, and we will make sure that you get your credits today.
Cool. Perfect. Should we show the example in the video? Should we do?
Yeah, I think that'd be illustrative.
Yeah.
100% agree.
Here I'm back in SenseVantage. I click on my Singapore video that I showed you before, and now I say Sentosa. Let's say show me the Sentosa monorail.
Why, there's nothing on earth like a bona fide electrified 6-car monorail. Man, I totally botched that Simpsons quote. I hope nobody was actually paying attention.
I remember.
Why, there's nothing on earth like a genuine bona fide electrified 6-car monorail. What I say?
Monorail. I remember this episode. It was a very good one. And in the end, nobody was using the monorail, right? It's not like it's in Singapore. The monorail is basically connecting the main island to. So let's see. It's not
The late, great Phil Hartman. Are you sure that's the right video? Is there another Singapore video?
Let me check. Oh, no. That's the correct one. Yeah. Maybe now a lot of people start to use it.
There
It's
we go.
probably our servers start to heat up. So you can see here, we
Very
found
good.
it, and that's the monorail, and it's definitely yellow, I would say.
That's right. Agreed. Definitely yellow. That is one yellow monorail.
Correct. Okay. If everybody's ready, I go to the next example.
Do one more
Chris?
here.
Yes.
Heck yeah. How many, Florian, how many quizzes do we have here? Is it just
This, I think in total there are 3.
Okay, so for the last, we'll save the last one. The winner will also get OpenCV course of their choosing.
All right. Okay. So this was yellow. And the next one, same video, so easy for now, right? And how much cost the chendol in a hawker center? So hawker centers in Singapore are basically the food court, the traditional food courts.
Okay.
So you usually get those all kind. The cool thing about Singapore is the mixture of cultures. You have Indian food, you have Vietnamese food, you have Chinese food, you have Indonesian, Malaysian food, Thailand, Thai food.
I love that. So you just have people hawking their wares. It's great.
Exactly, and the hawker center is the place to be to get all those kind of delicious food.
All right, we got some answers coming in. Anybody got it correct yet, Flora?
Okay, so $200 is wrong, and 2.5 is correct, and it was Chad
Okay, it's like Chad
Bartels.
Bartles. I assume Chad is the sign of the legendary Bartles and James fortified wine company. Chad, congratulations. The answer was $2.50. So please send one email to phil@opencv.org, and you will get your credits here.
So
Yeah, let's see
I
what
can go
what
back
it
here
looked
on
like
the
for
video.
the
So
folks search.
you have to select this video here, and then here you can see the hawker center for. So
Perfect.
this is actually a dessert. So it's some water ice, and then syrup and fruits and stuff like this put on and into it. Here you can see this gentleman. He likes it. And this you can see how those kind of hawker centers look like. Okay, so let's go to, we're ready for the last example, right? So this was
That's right.
250 Singapore dollars, not US dollars. So even cheaper. Let's go to the next example. We're ready. So here you have to find the Operation Fortune trailer. And then the question is, how many fingers is the lady in the car racing? So there's more.
All right, so the winner of this one will get the OpenCV courses they're choosing. You can see OpenCV courses that are available at opencv.org/university. Do we have an answer already?
Yes, pretty fast,
I
pretty
think
fast.
some people are making some random guesses.
It's possible. It's possible.
$200
can
dollars. $200
yeah.
is still the wrong answer.
What is the answer here?
Okay, we can actually go to the video to see
Did
it,
somebody
right?
get it? Did somebody get it correct already?
I think somebody already get it correctly. Yes, but
Let's find out.
let's find out. So I go here, I click on the Operation Fortune, and I shall show me a woman raising her fingers, and let's see how many there are. So here we have the scene, and I would say one,
That's
two.
Aubrey
So
Plaza with two fingers. The answer would be, the first correct answer was Tiana. Tiana, congratulations. Thanks for participating so much in today's episode, and congratulations for winning our final trivia question here. Please send one email to phil@opencv.org, and we'll make sure you get your Sense Vantage credits as well as the OpenCV course of your choosing. Someone in the chat asked, what about the thumb? Her thumb is not raised. It is inside of her hand there. So that's two fingers raised, buddies. I'm making the call.
Thumb is not a
So
finger,
congratulations.
technically.
Oh man, great also answer. See, I was trying to just rules lawyer it, and you're like just coming in with the anatomy lesson. Damn. All right, congratulations to our trivia winners. What else we got here? Uh,
I mean, that's pretty much it for today from our side. So go and try out sensevantage.com. Everybody who registered today will have some credits already on their profile, so you can even upload your own videos, or if you go to the dashboard, and actually you can just put in here a YouTube link, and it will put the YouTube video onto the platform. After it's processed, you can start searching it, and you can search as much as you want. So I think that's a great opportunity for everyone who participated today. So there are already some credits on your accounts now, and you can go and try it out and have some fun with it. And if you find really cool, interesting search examples, you can send it to Phil OpenCV. I think we would be very interested to see what
yeah,
people are
definitely.
coming up with.
Yeah, post in the OpenCV Slack channel, or heck, share it on your social media accounts, or send it via email to phil@opencv.org, my very public OpenCV email address. I get the spam for you, folks. I do it for you. Yeah, so is that about all we got for today for a presentation? We can go ahead and unshare your screen here. I think you might have
Yeah.
one or more questions left as I take a
Sure,
look
sure.
at the stuff here. Yeah, thanks so much for the awesome presentation. Great description of high level overview of how this works. We had a lot of questions about it, and you answered basically all of them without me having to bring them up. So I love it when that happens. We're vibing with the audience today. A couple things before we take off here. I got one more thing to share with you, or a reminder. A few weeks ago we had one of our favorite guests, my friend Paula Ramos of Intel, talking about this new awesome competition they're running at CVPR, Vantage 2.0 Visual Anomaly and Novelty Detection Challenge that they're running through the official community platform of OpenCV, Hackster.io. This is still open for folks to join. There'll be a leaderboard posted. There's only 277 participants so far in just 7 submissions. So there is a great chance and a great opportunity for folks watching here to participate in this competition and possibly win some really cool prizes. We'll scroll down here. I'll let you take a look at the prize. So 2 winners will get the newest Intel AI PC, a prestige 16-inch laptop, super nice, terabyte of storage, 32 gigs of RAM, Intel Arc graphics, Core Ultra 7 CPU, super beefy laptop. 2 winners will get those. Totally worth entering here. Second place for each category will also get an Intel Arc GPU, that brand new Arc graphics from Intel, 16 gigs of DDR, 6 RAM, PCI Express 4x16. Again, like super useful, just some badass new hardware from Intel. You can win it for free by participating in this competition. You can just go to hackster.io, click events, and then scroll down here click contests, and scroll down here, and you'll be able to go to the VAN 2.0 challenge at CVPR. Big shout out to our friends at Hackster and OpenVino, and for being partners of ours for so many years, and also for sponsoring a lot of the stuff that OpenCV does. We'll also be at CVPR ourselves. OpenCV is going to CVPR as we did last year. It was so awesome to see so many of you in person last year in Vancouver, and this year CVPR is staying on the Best Coast and in the Pacific Northwest area by being in Seattle, Washington. I'm really looking forward to visiting Seattle. I haven't been back there. It's probably been 15 years since I've been to Seattle, so super looking forward to it. OpenCV has a big old booth there. We're booth number 1920, I believe. It's a 10 by 20 booth. We will have stickers, buttons, you'll be able to talk with me and Satya. Probably Gary Bradsky will be there. There'll be a bunch of the OpenCV faves will be there to chat, answer your questions, give out some swag. We might have some T-shirts to give away at CVPR as well, such as the super cool Te Amo OpenCV, Yo Amo OpenCV T-shirt that I'm wearing right now. We have that shirt in English, simplified Chinese, and the one I'm wearing in Espanol. Thanks so much to my mamacita for the translation there. Before we get going today, folks, Florian, Varun, thanks so much for joining us. Where can folks find you individually online if they want to follow you professionally, and where can they find more from 7sense?
Okay, so first, we actually put out a brand new website. So if you go to 7sense.ai, you'll find all interesting things about 7sense. And if you want to connect with us, I think it's best on 7sense LinkedIn page.
Excellent. Yeah, and I see Varun on LinkedIn. It's V Chatterjee. And yeah, 7sense.ai. Go check that out. Of course, I'm Phil Nelson. You can find me damn near everywhere as @PhilNelson. I'm on Twitch as Extra Future. And in fact, I'm doing another weekly show on Tuesday nights with nothing to do with OpenCV, where I invite my friends from my over 20 years in the tech industry to hang out, talk about what they're doing, catch up, maybe play some video games, show the hardware and software that they're working on today. For example, our guest this past Tuesday, was Ian Scott, who made this awesome Raspberry Pi Pico-based hardware ISA card that effectively emulates the Gravis ultrasound and a bunch of the awesome old audio cards from the kind of the vintage era of PCs in the 90s. The stuff that's really close to my heart. And so it was awesome to talk with him about that. You can find that on twitch.tv/extrafuture. You can find OpenCV Live every damn Thursday except next week. We will be at the Embedded Vision Summit, so we're taking a week off. We will be back on the 30th with another exciting guest for you all. Thank you so much for watching every week. Thank you so much for your emails, for your messages in the chat, for participating in the chat, for supporting OpenCV financially and with your social media posts and by posting in the Slack. We could not do this without you and would not do this without you. OpenCV is by the people, for the people. Take care of yourselves out there, folks. Take care of somebody else if you can, and have a great day wherever you may be.